The reality of 7 sleepers. The 7 sleepers of Ephesus, also known as the 7 sleepers of Christendom and the Ashab-e-Kahaf in Islam, are the subject of a legend about a group of young men who hid in a cave around 250 AD to escape Roman persecution of Christians. They fell into a miraculous sleep and awoke centuries later, finding their society had changed. The story is found in both Christian and Islamic traditions. But after studying the Quranic verses meticulously, one might say that the famous story understood even by Muslims is widely influenced by Christian version of the story and not solely by the Quranic verses. In this video I will explain, with the help of original text of Quranic verses, what was truly happened. Quran does not call them sleepers, rather call them the companions of the cave. Those were few young men who wanted to explain the true version of Jesus' teachings, but the society did not accept it, so they decided to step aside and take refuge in a cave, not for a sleep, but to continue their research work on Jesus' teachings. They remained for many years working there. One day, after a long time, one of them went to bring some food from the city market. In this way, the outside world got to know about them. It was the time when the society had improved. In this way, their research work got acceptability, and they were revered by the same people, but after many years. The story is mentioned in the chapter 18, verse 9 to 27. The first difference is the name. The famous Christian version name them 7 sleepers of Christendom, whereas Quran call them Ashab-e-Kahaf, mean the companions of the cave. Secondly, the story starts from the verse 9 with the claim, Bossa, have you thought those companions of the cave were among strange of our signs? 118. Means the claim of the story is refuted in the very first verse. That were those men strange enough to fall asleep for centuries miraculously? In the next verse it says, when those young companions were going to the cave, they asked their Rabb for rahmah and asked for success in their affairs. 118:10. Normally the meaning of Rabb is taken as Lord, but in ancient Arabic, this word is used for the person who grows someone or something from the start point to the end point in a stable, positive and correct manner. On the other hand, in the ancient Arabic, rahmah means progressive development or evolution. So those companions call out their Lord to provide them a progressive development and true success in their work. It can be clearly inferred that they didn't go there to fall asleep, but they went there for some work. It is the next verse that creates the confusion among Muslims about falling asleep for many years. A word-to-word translation of that verse is, so we hit on their ears in that cave for many years, 1811, a phrase used hit on their ears, which is translated as they fell asleep. But if we see the previous verse, in which those men call out their Lord for progressive growth, help and success, so here God said that he accepted that by providing them a complete ignorance of the distressing news of the outside world means their ears fell unaware of decision taken by the emperor to crucify them, and in this way they remained focused on their cause. In the 13th verse, it is further clarified, we relate to you their story in truth. Those young men were truly enlightened by their Rabb, and we increase them in guidance, 1813. This verse also refutes their sleep, because how can someone's guidance be increased if he is asleep? This verse supports the context that explains how they asked for the help and God bestowed them to increase their guidance. In the 16th verse, the statement of those young is quoted. Since we have chosen to separate ourselves from those who follow a way of life other than God's, let us go to a cave so that your Rabb may extend progressive growth to you and grant you ease in your affairs. Again, this verse supports the context that they went there for some work and not to fall asleep. The last 3 verses contain some irrefutable arguments that says, and they will argue, those men lived 300 years or 309 years in that cave. Tell them God knows better how many years they lived there. He knows, unseen of heavens and earth. He sees and hears well. In fact, you will not find any help other than his rules, so don't mix up anything with his rules. And read this out for them, whatever revealed to you in this book by your Rab, that his rules do not change, and you will never find sanctuary other than those rules. 25 to 27. These verses clearly explain the facts that sleeping for centuries is against God's established rules on which he created this world. This is a matter of fact that God's rules never change, and if you forget God's rule, you will not find any refuge other than sticking to his rules on which this world is designed. In the end, it can be summarized that the story was misinterpreted by the people of ancient times. The Prophet Muhammad was asked about this story, so in response, God revealed the true version of this story and giving us the lesson, that God's rules do not change, so we should not fall a prey to the fiction of stories. We will get sanctuary only in his well-established set of rules on which this universe is designed. Thank you for your time. For more such videos, please like and share.